Hey y'all, this is your girl Freedom and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe for more. And you already know, period, is one of your favorite baddies to baddies. Hey y'all, this is your girl Freedom and welcome to my channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you already know. So we have an episodes of Heart of Houston, and this show is pretty cool. It's on Owned, and we have the goddesses Monera Page, Chloe Cook, Ro Pichardo, La Terria Lemon, Elena Salisbury, and Labina Jackson. The girls experience the spa that is owned by Labina, and she has a beautiful facility called Escape Gate. The girls is talking about this man that walked up, and Devin says that he's in the news helping people who are her clients. Labrina tells her she got shake the cobwebs off of the coochie, okay? Now, basically, they call the newscaster, and her and the other girl, they basically chopping it up, and they basically like trying to set up like a play date and stuff like that. And it's just giving very much rich, very much black affluent, very much demure, okay? And I really love this for the girls, all right? So as the girls, they basically they're chopping it up. Labina basically convinces uh, the other girl, I think it is Ro, basically to hit up this guy to basically see if they could get a date or whatever the case may be. Start to go out because she said that she has been celibate for a few years, and so they basically call him up. He was basically saying that he was going to be out of town. She shot her shot, but he said that his birthday was coming up, and like they could link up and stuff for his birthday. And so they're like, yeah, girl, yeah, girl. And so, she happy and stuff like that. He is very attractive, and so I really hope that the date definitely does work out between her with the brown and this guy that she's talking to right here. And he's very attractive, and so girl, get it, shake those cobwebs off, okay? And she was not playing about the cobwebs being knocked out of Devin, okay, by this guy. And they said that he'd been in a rodeo and she'd been celibate for 3 years. So Latoria and Chloe and Elena wasn't invited to the actual spa because they was having some issues and stuff like that in between them. So Ro was talking about sex, and the girl said she felt her, basically with the yellow, said that she felt uncomfortable about having that kind of conversation about sex and everything like that, which makes both of them feel like they both cannot be their authentic self because she felt like it was not like qual for, like, I guess respectable, I guess, to talk about that or whatever. But the other girl was just basically like, it's girl talk, so we just being ourselves, which I could understand both perspectives. And yeah, I understand both perspectives. So her name is Latoria, okay? So her name is Latoria. I'm getting used to everybody's names. So Latoria and Chloe is at her house, and they basically talking about Ro asking her about her sex life. And she's basically saying that, like, because of her size and everything like that, growing up, everybody always take everything that she said personal. So she never really had, like, felt like, even if she was to check her, like, basically she just felt like, oh, she would be looked at as the bully in the end or whatever the case may be. And I could understand that, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just giving like the whole, yeah, holier than thou, but then acting like you never had sex before. It's like we're all grown, so it's like I don't know. But in the next scene, Monera and Elena, they're chopping it up and they're talking, whatever the case is. And she's just they're just talking about the spa date. And she was saying that how Lateria on multiple occasions kept saying that Elena she looks younger than her age and stuff like that. And she was just basically like, my whole entire, like, being in the industry and having people disrespect me because of how I look versus my age has always been like a thing. So she basically was like, maybe that is like a soft spot or whatever the case is. So as they talking about it, Lunera is basically also opening up saying that because she was considered having a big butt and being told that, like the opposite of that is like understand it, like, like what else is there? So like what are you really saying underneath that? So they were having a bonding time. And we see Elena, she goes to therapy and she has a breakthrough, and she realizes that having her business affected her relationship with her daughter. She's saying that she wants others to be authentic. And the therapist is like, when are you authentic? Other people lack of inauthenticity will impact them. So you will, the more that you are following what you do, you will see that some people is not going to always resonate to that because they might be inauthentic, but it also could be the fact that maybe they're just not ready to open up either, you know? So I think that both things can be true. And she basically is opening up, basically also talking about how she felt about what Lateria was saying into the friend group and stuff like that. Because by her asking her about, opening it up about the sex life and how she was so open with it, it just made her feel like, okay, you're not being authentic. Like, basically, like, you're acting like a whole Christian, like, holy and thou. But at the same time, it's not like you never did it. So why all the, secrecy and shade or whatever the case may be. And so when she was explaining that to her therapist, it just made sense. Latoria was asking Elena and her man if they would get a vow renewal. Knowing Elena was upset about infidelity is crazy. So Ro calls it out in the confessionals, basically saying that, oh, well, if she's supposed to be a holier than thou and all this other stuff, then she's coming more like the devil to me because you're asking questions and just stirring the pot about something that we already know that should be off limits because she's really sensitive about her relationship because clearly he had a lot of infidelity issues and stuff like that she hasn't really healed from. But we see Ro coming in with her man. Okay, and what do y'all think? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do you think that he is T? Clock it. Because she basically was saying that she finds men like this attractive, okay? Not the other girl's husband. So this is why they kind of had that little tit-tat. But she is such a pretty girl, and I just feel like she should not let her husband run her into the ground, okay? Because you could tell that she looks very hurt and very sad, as if like it just happened. And, there is no grieving time or period, when somebody has impacted you or hurt you and you're losing that idea of that person in your head of how you thought things was going to be versus what they are. And so she's going through a transition right now. So, shout out to her for doing her big one, and she's looking good doing it, okay? But do you feel like Lateria was stirring the pot by asking her a marriage question, knowing that they don't have a good marriage? What are y'all thoughts? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe because I want to know what y'all thinking, okay? But all the girls is having a kiki. They're talking about, like I said, like the relationships, about, what they expect with their men or what they want to do in the future and stuff like that. And basically her husband basically was saying that he want to have a 20-year plan when they get married. But because Ro had lost her husband and is a single mom, now due to losing her husband, she's basically saying that since I'm a wedding planner, like, don't put off what you can't do today just because, like, nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And I totally agree with that. Like, live in the moment, right? And so when the girls have their husbands on the dates, the girls all on Jordan's face, Labrina gives me, she would F your man kind of vibe, though. Even though she said she want to just know, like, if that's her friend. But I don't know. It's just giving a little, I don't know. I just got to feel her out a little bit more. And Elena was trying to take a shot Chloe on her type, and it showed in her insecurities on her relationship. Munira was eating Latoria up about her being a child of God and correcting her saying, woman of God. So she was defensive. Then Elena told Latoria, don't call me, then say I'm double 11, 22 is shade. So we ended up the episode with Latoria being pulled to the side and said that we don't know what she experienced looking young when it comes to Monero. You know what I'm saying? So they had their conversation, they discussed it or whatever. But what are your thoughts? I really like Heart of Houston. So like, comment, share, subscribe for more. Peace.